Alright, interesting gel test for you here today. I'm going to compare 5.7 by 28 to 22 Magnum, but I'm doing it a little different than everyone else does. For some reason, it seems like anytime people compare 22 mag to 5.7, which a lot of people like doing so, because they like to say the 22 mag is like a little 5.7, it's comparable, right? Well, it's comparable if you're shooting the 22 mag out of a rifle barrel and you're shooting the 5.7 out of a pistol barrel. Seems like some people don't realize that. So if you compare a 22 mag pistol to a 5.7 pistol, the 5.7 is going to smoke the 22 mag. There's a massive difference in velocity there with the equal barrel lengths. So to equal up velocity, you got to have a longer barrel, you got to have a rifle barrel on that 22 mag there. And then if you match the 22 mag rifle barrel to the 5.7 with a rifle barrel like the PN90 or PS90 or whatever the heck the thing's called with the 16-inch variant, again going to smoke the 22 mag with the same barrel length. So we should get about 1700 feet a second out of this from my pistol, and we should get in the 1700s with these out of my rifle, which these are for handgun. You can see it says short barrel there. I forget the advertised velocity. I'll put it up on the screen. I think it's like 1050. But out of a pistol, this is going about 1700. Okay? So out of my rifle, that's going to put that at about 1700 as well. And I'm going to shoot them over the chrono and verify that for you guys. Then it'll actually be a fair comparison. Because straight up, pistol versus pistol, the 22 mag gets smoked. Even gold dot versus gold dot. Now these 22 mag gold dot, they're advertised 1050 feet per second from a 2-inch barrel. So out of a 4.5 to 5-inch barrel, you will see 12 or 1300 feet per second, just like you will with many other 40 grain 22 mag loads. Most of the rifle rounds, 40 grain, are advertised like 1875, somewhere around in there. But from a 4.5 to 5-inch barrel, they're still only doing 12 to 1300 feet per second, which is still much slower than the also 40 grain 5.7 by 28 there. That's going to be doing about 1700 feet a second, as you'll see in the chrono results in this video. At most, you're getting 1300s from a 5-inch 22 mag, and from a 5-inch 5.7 by 28, you're going to get several hundred feet per second faster with the same weight of bullet. Therefore, much more energy and power than the 22 mag from the same barrel length. So again, there's no real comparison with equal barrel lengths, so that's why you have to use a rifle for the 22 mag and a pistol for the 5.7 by 28 to actually make a comparison. Or at least a close comparison anyways, like so many people think they're closely comparable, and they're not from the same barrel lengths. Now if I had my 22 mag pistol on me right now, it's currently at the manufacturer getting repaired, finally. It took me like a year to remember to send it in. If I had it with me, I would go ahead and do that side by side as well to show you. But you can go watch the review I did out of the pistol with those gold dots there. If you want to see that, I will link that video in the description so you can see for yourself after this video how minuscule the damage is from a pistol with those, okay? And these are now slower than they used to be. Otherwise, it still wouldn't be quite a fair comparison. Rifle barrel versus pistol barrel. These used to get close to 1900 feet a second out of a 5-inch barrel, and now they're only doing like in the 1700s. On top of that, they also changed the bullet design. If this focuses, you can see there's 4 petals there and a real tiny hole. So the old design, on top of being almost 200 feet a second faster on average from a 5-inch barrel, it had a much bigger cavity. It was larger, and it was a 6-petal design, I believe. And there's a video you can go check out on Buffman Range. On his channel, he actually has a video testing the old ones. In the newer video, he posted a chart saying he averaged 1807 feet per second from a 5.2-inch barrel. So in order to get that average, some of them were coming in faster. So you can compare his videos as well. Now, I would link those for you, but I don't know if that's going to cause me any possible issues. So I will just have his channel name up on the screen for you guys. Definitely go check it out. You'll be able to see the difference between the old stuff and the new stuff, which unfortunately this is all you can get now. So it's not like I can go buy the different variant because it no longer exists, and it's been that way for a couple years now. So for everyone who didn't want to hear all that crap, I apologize, but I find it very interesting, and I think it's kind of need to know information for what we're doing today. But anyways, we'll get to it. So we're going to put these into my Knox Ballistic Gelatin here. It's 10%. When I get the other block up here, we'll have 2 in a row. I'll show you the BB calibration, which is coming in at 3.2 inches today. I'm going to hit just the bare block first, and then we're going to do a 4 layers of denim worst case scenario test. I used to do t-shirt in between there also, but the t-shirts never made a difference. It's just like shooting the bare block, so we skip that now and just do worst case scenario after the bare block. So the pistol I'm using, PSA Rock 5.7. It's a 4.7 inch barrel, and the Cerakote on this was done by Atlas Tactical in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. And for the rifle, I'm using my Rossi RS-22M. It's got a 21 inch barrel. And again, that's going to give us about 1,700 feet per second. And that's because it's a handgun load, so the powder's a little different. Other 40 grain 22 mag is going to be doing them, 1850 to 1,900 feet per second out of this 21 inch barrel. But the 5.7 by 28, still with the 40 grain bullet, only takes a 16 inch barrel to once again smoke 22 Magnum. Out of a 16 inch barrel, this exact load is going about 2,100 feet a second, and would go even faster if I had a longer barrel. And there's probably other 40 grain loads out there in 5.7 by 28 that from a 16 inch barrel would be going even faster than 2,100 feet a second. And I know plenty of you 5.7 guys are going to be like, dude, use this bullet or that bullet and you'll get like 2,500 feet a second from a 16 inch barrel with the 5.7 by 28. And I'm aware of that, but those are like 27 grain bullets, which we're not comparing here today. We're comparing 40 grain to 40 grain. So let me go ahead and get the chrono set up, and we'll verify that between the 2 barrel lengths and the 2, I would say, different calibers, but they're the same caliber, 2 different cartridges. So we'll get penetration depths down there after we send them in the block, and then when we're done, bring them up here, get retained weight, expanded diameter. If you guys are looking to get yourself a little scale, micrometer, caliper, target stand I use, paper targets, chronograph, way more, even the ballistics gelatin I use, links in the description for all that. And for Pew products I cannot link to, make sure you check out my campsite page. Alright, I might read out the first, you know what, actually I learned my lesson on the last one. Been a new camera, so it works a little different than the last one I had. And for some reason, when I walk up, it blurs out the background, it seems. So hopefully the wind doesn't blow this thing. I need to replace my camera holder here. This thing's like 6 years old and all busted up. Anyways, we'll send 5 over the chrono. These are the 5.7 out of the pistol. Alright, now 5 of the gold dots from the rifle, 21 inch barrel. Okay, I saw a couple of 18s there. We ended on an 18, but I also saw low 17s, so the extreme spread on the velocity there with those is pretty bad. I think over 100 feet per second between our lowest velocity and our highest there, but that puts us averaging mid 1700s, just like that 5.7 out of the pistol barrel. So that's 2 22 caliber, both 40 grain bullets traveling at about 1,750 feet per second on average, roughly, which means comparing the 22 mag in this barrel length and the 5.7 in that barrel length, they're both putting out the same power. They're just different designed bullets. So let's get the gel set up and see what they do. And that's the unfortunate thing, is that the older original gold dot loading for the 5.7 was more like a pistol bullet, so that would be extremely comparable to this gold dot in 22 mag at the same velocities. But now it's styled like a rifle bullet, And I've seen both tests from Buffman, like I said, before and after, and he does various barrel lengths. However, we will get slightly different results. Well, I went to show you the Knox, but I got it back in the cooler so it doesn't get too hot on the table there. There is some difference in my Knox, but the original one worked well out of pistols, whereas this newer 5.7 gold dot, every time I go to talk, that guy shoots. And when I shut up, he doesn't shoot. Anyways, the old version was great for pistols, whereas this new version's better in longer barrels. So what you see here today, it would be better from a longer barrel without absolutely fragmenting. On the flip side, the 22 WMR here, these are designed for a short barrel, so you're going to get some fragmentation out of the long barrel to make the velocity match here. So it's real unfortunate they switched these. I just wish that they offered both versions. Like, you know, they make gold dots, like for 9mm, for example, they make regular gold dots, then they make plus P, and then they make short barrel gold dots. They should do the same thing with these. Keep this new version and list 4 rifles or 4 carbines or whatever, and then they should also continue manufacturing the old version of it and just put on there 4 pistols. That would be amazing. But unfortunately, this is all we have, at least in 2025 here. Hopefully one day they'll offer both versions. That would be great. But anyways, I'll shut up now and we'll get to shooting these blocks. I didn't intend for this to be another 20-minute video, but that's what it's headed towards. I can tell already. Alright, we do the 5.7 from the pistol first, and then the second shot will be the 22 Magnum from the rifle. I don't know why I've been having that issue all day today. The other day it was shooting a tad low for me, and today it's shooting a tad high for me. Maybe it's the ammo, I don't know. But let me take another one, because that one was clearly too high, plus we lost it out the top. So we'll take a second shot here with the 5.7. Alright, got a capture on that one, so just disregard the top there. There's our bullet. There's entry. Nice tearing. There's from the side. It actually split out the side here a little bit, but you can see that's a pretty massive cavity stretch there. Continues on. And there she is. So I think I got room. That way we'll have plenty of room for the denim and all that. Just go ahead and take the 22 mag under that with the 22 mag rifle, which again, if you didn't skip ahead, is doing the same velocity. Alright, I'm sure you guys can already see the capture there, and that one I placed exactly where I wanted it, more or less. So there's the entry for our 22 mag there. There's from the side, pretty massive wound cavity. Seems to be about the same as the 5.7. However, it's a quicker energy dump, because you can see here it narrows out. Whereas the 5.7 is carrying more damage a little further. It's not astronomically more, but it's definitely more. And then there's the 22 mag there, which, as I said, from the rifle, when these are designed to be shot from a pistol barrel, they're overexpanding and fragmenting a little bit, dumping their energy like crazy, so you're not going to get as much penetration. So obviously that from the pistol is a much better self-defense round than that from the rifle. Now, out of the pistol, again, I would put one through here with the pistol for you if I had my pistol on me. Again, it's out for repair. I can tell you from that video, we were getting about 12 inches of penetration out of the pistol. They expanded nicely. The wound cavity was much smaller, but they didn't overexpand like that and fragment. So they carried through to about 12 inches. Again, I will link that video in the description if you want to go check that out. But again, it's like 1,000 or 1,100 feet per second out of the pistol. So that's why there's a drastic difference. All right, same order again with the Denim. Hopefully I won't need 2 shots with the pistol this time. So pistol first, 5.7, and then underneath of that, the 22 mag from the rifle. Felt good about that one. It looks like it's good. Yep, there's the impact. Put it right where I wanted it that time. Still really good damage through the Denim. There's from the side. And there's our capture. Went a little bit further than that first one there. And we're about to get penetration depths for you guys. Now let's go ahead and try the Denim with the 22 mag. Now the same story with the 22 mag. We got more penetration, less expansion. There's the entry for that. Not really. There's the wound cavity. Again, proving that 5.7 there vastly superior through the Denim there, even though it didn't expand as much as the bear block shot back there. And there's our gold dot. It did go further than the bear block one, but you can see there it sheds some jacket. There's the slug. Our first one through the bear blocks there. Let me get the tape measure and get the diameters, the penetration here for you. All right, the 22 mag bear block, about, what's that, 8? Yeah, sorry, glare. 8 inches there. And then our second one through the Denim's right down there, about 10.5. And then the 5.7 through the bear block right there, just shy of 14 it looks like, depends on how I hold the camera. Then the one through the Denim a little bit further, looks like it's a hair past 15 there, about 15.25. Let me go ahead and pull these out real quick, take a quick look, and then bring them up to the bench, get expanded diameter and retained weight. Alright, so kind of interesting results with the 22 mag. They're both pretty freaking mangled here. The one on the left is through the Denim, the one on the right is through the bear block. Again, they're both mangled, but you can see the fascia there, expanded diameter, is definitely wider on the bear block one, which is interesting because usually it's the opposite. Usually Denim inhibits expansion, but the reason is, okay, you can see that's smaller. I'm not even holding it as low. The one through the Denim here is smaller because it shed more jacket and lead, so it made a smaller diameter, which made it easier to travel through the resistance. So that's why that one went further there, even with less expansion, because it must have detonated a little more there. And then there's your gold dots. This one's through the bear block. That one's through the Denim. So you can see reduced performance as far as expansion goes through the Denim, but it did get a little more penetration due to that. However, through the bear block, still plenty of penetration for 5.7 there, coming well into the second block and exceeding the FBI standards penetration. So again, the original version of these were faster and a slightly different bullet design, and they used to expand even more. So I don't know if that's why they changed it, because they had more expansion and less penetration with the old version, or if because they were fragmenting through longer barrels. But most people, I think, shoot 5.7 out of pistols, so I don't know. Like I said, I wish they'd just make both versions available to us. And so through a rifle, these are going to expand even better with a higher velocity, but you'll get less penetration, although you will get a larger wound cavity. Alright, again, these tools are linked if you're looking to get any. 22 mag through the bear block, 24.9, 25. And then the one through the Denim, 24.1. So it's interesting, it's almost as heavy, but much narrower diameter. So it just, I guess it's the way it's shaped after hitting that block, and it allowed it to carry through much further because, again, much less frontal area there, so less resistance. 5.7 through the bare block, 35.6. Again, these are supposed to be 40 grain bullets before they're fired. And then the 5.7 through the Denim, 37.1. Give me a second here and I'll get expanded diameters for you. It's kind of difficult with these little bullets. All right, biggest expansion of the day, thus the least amount of penetration there. That first 22 mag through the bare block, .378, so almost 38 caliber there. And then the 22 mag through the Denim, .308, 30 cal. The 5.7 at its widest point through the bare block, .334, so 33 caliber. And then the 5.7 through the Denim, if you measure it from the sides where it's like a square, it was coming out to .26. But if you turn it to where it's little like diamond shaped edges push out, then you get a .315, 31 caliber. So that's your results there today, guys. I gotta say, I'm actually a little surprised. I figured the damage would be about the same, although I knew the penetration on the 5.7 would be better. And I mean, that's because I've watched a few videos here and there over the years. Plus, I've done some previous testing of my own with this 22 mag here. But it is a little different. I keep trying to show you the blocks, but I keep forgetting I put them up so they don't melt. The Nox I use is a little different performing than the clear blocks that everybody else uses. Clear blocks usually give you less expansion on your bullets and more penetration than the Nox 10% does that I use. Which, for those who don't know, if you're going to say, well, why do you use the Nox and nobody else does? It's because that's what the FBI uses, and supposed to more closely represent, you know, flesh. That clear stuff is rubber, petroleum based, which is also why it ignites and you'll see fireballs inside of it when real hot stuff hits it, because it ignites the petroleum in it. But the clear blocks are much more convenient. They don't need to be on ice like I have to do, and they don't have to be kept in the fridge. And these things are a real pain in the butt, but it's a labor of love. But yeah, I went into this thinking you're going to get the same damage with this, with the 22 mag, as what you do with the 5.7. But thinking, you know, 5.7 is going to give us more penetration again because of what I know about each of these rounds. However, the 5.7, at least through the Denim, completely smoked the 22 mag as far as the wound cavity there goes. So this is also a great demonstration of, you know, bullet design is very important, and whether it's for self-defense or hunting or whatever, we got two 40 grain 22 caliber bullets going about the same velocity, but you got vastly different results because of the difference in bullet design. And that's a difference in bullet design, even though they're both 22 caliber gold dots. And that's why most of us do these gel tests, because we want to see how they actually perform, because they're not all created equal. Even at the same velocity and caliber. And even comparing 5.7, you can compare 5.7 to 5.7 and 22 mag to 22 mag. There's vast differences in performance from one round to the next. It just depends on what you go with. Which, by the way, I have a ton of rimfire gel tests, not only from pistols, but also from rifles, and some at 50 and 100 yards instead of close up like this. Check out the 22/rimfire playlist on the channel for that. And I will link some of my previous 5.7 gel tests in the description as well. And last shameless plug, it really helps the channel out. If you guys are looking to get anything you see me use in my videos, target stand there, targets I use, chronograph, ballistics, gelatin I use, safety glasses, ear muffs, and way more. Links in the description for all that. And for the few products I cannot link to on YouTube, make sure you check out my campsite page. Lastly, don't forget, go check out Buffman Range. He has the older original version of these, so you guys will see what I'm talking about, with a completely different bullet design and much faster velocities. So head on over and check that out. Plus, he has a redo video of these, the newer version here like I have now. But thanks for stopping by and checking this one out today, guys. Really appreciate it. And I hope to see you on the next one.